People. Que pasa, sac passe, what they do. Welcome to Crime Time News, where the difference is in the meds. Call it news with a buzz. This one is called A Promise is a Comfort to a Fool. This one is called Story is Finally Coming to Bump. Just when we thought that all hope was lost as it pertains to SSL, we realized that there was nothing going to come out of it, regardless if Usain Bolt was one of the victims, regardless of 9,000 Jamaican, 39 plus victims, in which Jean Ann Panton gave a confession and said that yes, she, along with SSL, stole 3-point-something billion Jamaican from these clients. 39 of them, she told you not in intricate detail, she just was vague and told you that she stole X amount from this one, X amount from that one. Just when we thought that we were not going to get any sorts of justice, it seems as if there is some sorts of light at the end of the tunnel. It seems as if there was some sorts of freight train coming to clout you off of the track. People, that is the way it seems. We saw that Miss Jean Ann Panton filed some documents with the courts in which a lady, 80-year-old, her name is Jean Ford. She lost in excess of $830,000 through SSL. She filed a lawsuit, and in that lawsuit, there were 10 defendants, including SSL, including Jean Ann Panton, including Hugh Croskery, including Mark Croskery, including Mr. Harding. 10 in all. However, people, it seems as if none of these 10 persons are going to get any sorts of justice. They are just going to be a court case that is going to be prolonged. At the end of the day, there will be no sorts of justice. There will be no sorts of money return. As far as I am concerned, and any other expert that know anything about financial crime, these persons are in the red. That means whatever they own is less than whatever they are due for their people that they stole this money from. So anyways, this lady filed a lawsuit through her lawyer, her attorney, and then Miss Panton, she was defending it on Thursday. She filed some documents through her attorney, and she pretty much said, listen, my confession that I gave about these 39 persons, including Miss Jean Ford, it was coerced. It was under duress. It was induced. That means that it's speed up. It was influenced by some sorts of authority, the bigger wigs in the company. And she named Mr. Hugh Croskery as that person, as a part of the SSL, including 8 other or 9 other directors. So therefore 10 persons were a defendant in the lawsuit that was filed by Miss Jean Ford, 80-year-old Jamaican that was swindled in excess of $830,000, thousands of dollars, close to $1 million, buku cash, over 100 enough million Jamaican dollar. Now from the point that we realized that Miss Panton was caught up in the matrix, in the mix-up, we saw that she started to put on all sorts of Oscar-nominated award acting as if she had all sorts of physical ailment. We saw that she and her lawyer filed all sorts of paperwork that the place that she is presently incarcerated is not convenient for her comfort. We thought that she was going to file some sorts of insanity defense, saying that she don't know what time of the day it is. She don't know nothing what them are talk about. However, people, it seems as if this defense is me not give a FUCK defense. Me have the power, me have the backing of my government, me have the backing of my finance minister, of my DPP, of my prime minister, who are under or are puppets on a string to SSL, the Croskeries, the Harding. They are the persons that are financing their political agenda. So therefore, she does not need any sorts of valid defense. She just needs to use psychs. She just needs to use all sorts of delayed tactics, because people, here is the deal. At the end of the day, this lady, Mrs. Panton, is over 18-year-old. So therefore, if she's now going to say that she was induced, she was given some sorts of offer, she was under duress when she made the confession, she will have to prove that in courts. So it is going to be her word against the Croskery word, and we know whose word has the more power, has the more influence. However, because she is going up against a sole victim, Mrs. Ford, Jean Ford, 80-year-old, that lost $830,000, she feels as if she can come with some sorts of lame defense. And yes, it is going to work, because it has always worked. People, don't you realize what is going on in Jamaica? When we look at the government of Jamaica, the justice system, including security minister, including the commissioner, including FID, including MOCA, all of them are press trigger. That means that if the government of Jamaica, meaning Andrew Holness and the higher up in the hierarchy, tell them, say, listen, lay low, lay in the cut, leave this one alone, do not investigate these people, do not arrest these people, do not charge these people, it will not be done. And people, that is exactly what is going on in Jamaica as far as we can see. Anybody with any sorts of iota of sense can see and read this clearly like daylight. Now people, remember, like I said, this is called A Promise is a Comfort to a Fool, or did story actually come to bump? What type of promises were the persons or people in Jamaica given? We were given the promise from your finance minister, Mr. Nigel Clark, that listen, this is going to be a watershed case. This is not going to go like this. Whomever are responsible for this debacle are fraudulent billions of dollars from in excess of 9,000 Jamaicans, 39 plus that were named as victims in Mrs. Panton's confession. We are going to bring in the FBI. The FBI is going to investigate along with FID, MOCA, FSC. Everybody is going to collaborate or coordinate, and we are going to come to the bottom of this. We then heard him change up him talk again, talking about Nigel Clark. He said that he has now hired a firm of forensic expert from the UK that has in excess of 100 years of experience doing forensic tracing. People, it seems as if them did just a cuss, them did just a trace. Because up to this date, when he said that a couple of months has passed elapsed, we have not heard anything, we have not seen any sorts of report, we have not gotten any sorts of promise that, listen, by 2058, we will hear what is going on. We will get the findings of these people that we paid the money to. Through the purse, government of Jamaica take the money from the Jamaican taxpayer and pay these people. And up to this date, we not hear diddly squat. We not hear nothing. Nothing, none at all, no say. It is as if it was swept under the rug, and people, that is exactly what happened. Now people, we have to understand, there were 39 victims, like I said before, in the confession of Jean Ann Panton. So therefore, we did not get to that case as yet through the security minister, through the commissioner, through the FID, through MOCA. That the case not reached a court yet. Jean Ann Panton is the only scapegoat. We not hear say Mr. Hugh or Mr. Mark Croskery get arrested, get questioned. We not hear say Mr. Harding. We not hear say none of the other 10 directors or persons up in the upper hierarchy of SSL in any sorts of questioning, in any sorts of trouble. This lady, through her attorney, trying to get back her 800 and something thousand US dollar, almost $1 million, through her lawyer, has filed a lawsuit suing all of the directors, the top people in a SSL. That is public knowledge who are the directors, who are in charge. So therefore, those are the persons that she is going after. And people, I don't want to be the bearer of bad news. However, in my opinion, this case is not going to get anywhere, because if 39 other people, Usain Bolt from Welljam Limited, SSL, that case has not moved. That case has pretty much become stagnant. No sorts of progress. What is the odds of one sole lady challenging these top people in the hierarchy, meaning the Croskery and the Harding? Don't you realize if the government of Jamaica and Your Holiness Nigel Clark, the commissioner, the DPP, do not give a FUCK about Usain Bolt, who has done so much for Jamaica? The financial experts and magazine told you the amount of attention that Usain Bolt brought to Jamaica. It would have been at least $1 billion US the government of Jamaica would have had to spend to get that amount of advertisement for Jamaica. If a man like that do that and them not give a FUCK about him, you saw that he got some sorts of lawyer and they made some sorts of lawsuit claiming that if within 10 days this not happen or that not happen, them are going to do this. People, you see anything happen. And people, here's the next thing that is so FUCKED up. When it comes to these lawyers, a whole lot of these lawyers in Jamaica, they will sell you out. I am not going to say that that is the case as it pertains to Usain Bolt or this lady's case. But me just say, don't be surprised. Remember, all of these persons are involved in what you've heard me term the body club. All of them involved, all of them are all like a set of peas in a pod. So therefore, they look out for each other. Membership has its privilege. So at the end of the day, what Jean Ann Panton is doing to Jean Ford, that elderly lady, is taking her into circles. Pretty much the paperwork that she filed, she is saying to this lady, she is daring this lady, you need to prove that this confession that I gave was not under duress, was not induced, was not coerced because of the offer that I was given by my authority. Based on what Jean Ann Panton stated, she got a 20% commission. The rest of the money went to the elders in the company, the upper hierarchy. She don't know nothing. People, anybody with any sorts of sense would have known that, listen, this lady could not pull this off by herself. Every and all of them that are involved as director had information, had knowledge of what was going on. No company that they claim is any sorts of financial wizardry company could have been run like that by a set of persons who are supposed to be smart people. It's quite obvious that somebody must have known, somebody must have had some sorts of idea. There is no way companies like these run by people who have sense and the head don't know what the foot is thinking or what is going on in the company. Especially when you have a client like Usain Bolt, one of the most famous persons not only in Jamaica, internationally, globally. Global superstar like the Michael Jordan, like those top sports figure. People, them know. However, these people are full of craft. These people are full of backative, all sorts of links politically in the power force. So therefore, the chance of them getting convicted, getting any sorts of time, seeing a day in a court seriously for any sorts of serious charges, worse, reaching at any sorts of penitentiary, jail or lockup, it is minimal. People, you know, see where I go on. We have all been fooled. We have all been tricked. We have all been bamboozled by the government of Jamaica. Nigel Clark, FSC, FID, Mocha, Paula Llewellyn, and your government, Andrew Holness. They are all a part of the conspiracy to defraud the people of Jamaica. And people, this is a perfect example of how our government works. These people cannot be trusted. They do not have a honest bone in their body. And people, this is the next case that makes it very obvious. You do not have to be a rocket scientist to see exactly what is going on. We've all been tricked. We've all been fooled. There is never any sort of justice when it comes to certain people with that status in a Jamaica, in a that body club, point blank and period. So anyways, people, thanks once again for checking out my video. If you appreciate videos like these, please show your appreciation by liking, commenting, sharing, and subscribing to my channel. That is how YouTube promotes videos like these to like-minded, sensible persons like yourself. And last but not least, please subscribe to my next channel. It is called Jamaica Dancehall Source. I'll be pinning the link to that channel in the description of this video. Bless up.